Hello and welcome to round 13 of the 2016 Formula Virtual World Championship here from Sakhir, Bahrain. No, we didn't expect to be here either. I'm your lead commentator, Downton, and I'll be joined today by Harry Westwood.
Good afternoon.
Let's take you through the grid then for the Bahrain V-Prix. It's Adrien Simon on pole position with his teammate Olin Inman alongside in a DF Mattershaw front row lockout. Nikolai Milkovic third ahead of Carsten Davenport. Johan Halvorsen and Will Hoskins make up row 3 with Elroy Wagner and Jean Matson in the top 8. Stuart Harrison, Enrico Ruiz round out the top 10 ahead of Lewis Ellington and Timo Kinnaman for Westwood. Felix Baer and Chris Dulu, their teammates, are behind them, while Lopez lock out row 8, 15th for Jochen van Snelheid, 16th for James Harding. Marcus Thunder and Nathaniel Powers are on row 9 ahead of the two Ocelots of Carl Beckenbauer and Hilario Bull. Judson Sykes leads the North Star battle ahead of his teammate Alexei Novosinski. Both of them are ahead of the firsts of Douglas Bacon and Arden Hutchinson. And at the back of the grid, Aaron Einerson and Chiara Thunder for Holmqvist. So as we go down to the grid then, we have Adrien Simon on pole on the right, Olin Inman second on the left. The lights go out now and we're racing in Bahrain. It's a solid start from Simon, but I think Olin Inman is up alongside the two DS cars. Are going to go side by side into turn 1. Olin Inman has the inside line. Simon is going to hold on around the outside, but I think it's going to be Inman who's got the traction. It is. It's Inman that leads out of the first few corners. Adrien Simon slips back to second from pole. Milkovic holds on to third.
That was a very adventurous start there. Oh, as we almost see. That would have. We've got a spin.
And there's a AMR facing backwards, and already contact with one of the Franklins as things get far too close for comfort at the back of the pack. That was, I believe, Lewis Ellington who got turned around, and Elroy Wagner who got connected, and Nathaniel Powers is slipping back through the field.
Yeah, a lot of the people, a lot of the drivers towards the back of the grid have been held up quite substantially there, as you can see by the split already. Yeah,
some of the drivers towards the back already 10, 11, 12 seconds off the leader, which is Olin Inman. He's already just on the first lap alone pulling a gap to Adrien Simon.
But yeah, because even though this is a power track through that middle sector, having clean air is very important.
Yeah, this is on board with Ellington. He came in far too quickly and just got into the side of, I think that was Ruiz, and then chose to take out the other Franklin as well.
Well, what I thought was interesting there is the fact that he got the that was a very close move there by Chris Dulu. Just came right across the front of that North Star front wing of Sykes, I believe. But anyway, back to the we've got Milkovic under attack.
Yeah, that's Milkovic and Carsten Davenport, and Davenport in the fun through into third place on the soft tyres. Milkovic is all over the inside of turn 3, and that's going to put Johan Halvorsen in position to launch up the inside of turn 4, but he's not going to make a move.
No. Back to the incident with Ellington, I believe. Oh no! Every time I go back to it, there's another overtake.
That's fine. Go.
Okay, so it actually looked like Ellington did what he needed to do. He somehow got the car slowed down, but turning in too early might actually put the car onto the curb, which then spat him into the side pod of was it Ruiz or Wagner?
It was Ruiz. He went into first.
Yeah. But it looked like he did the hard part initially and got it all slowed down, as we see Simon is slowly clawing back that gap.
Yeah, well, he's already latched right onto the back of his teammate Olin Inman as the two DS cars really stretching away from the field, although obviously there has just been that change for third between Davenport and Milkovic, which will have cost them a little bit of time. Davenport on the soft tyres. He's the only one of the front runners to be on the soft tyres. In fact, the next highest starter on the grid on the soft was Jochen van Snelheid in 15th. Both DS cars on the medium, so it'd be interesting to see if there's any differential in pace there between the two. And already, look at the gap that Davenport's got back to Milkovic, as Olin Inman sets another fastest lap, but he's got his teammate with him, and in fact, Simon has indeed beaten it.
Yeah, because he's in the slipstream, and there's a lot of time to be had in a straight line on this circuit. So you'll see a lot of the cars sliding around quite a lot because they'll all run quite low aero packages.
Yeah, let's not forget. Inman was the quickest driver in practice, but Adrien Simon stunned everyone yesterday by taking pole by half a second.
That was quite a sensational performance. I mean, you just don't see that kind of thing at the pointy end of the grid. You don't see gaps of half a second between cars.
No, absolutely not, especially between teammates.
Yeah.
But that was what happened. Simon took the pole, but he's been outfoxed at the start here, and it is Olan Inman who leads on lap 3 of the Bahrain V-Prix. As sideways and locked up goes Nikolai Milkovic. He's just going to hang on to 4th place. However, that's going to put both Meteors and his teammate, and in fact half of the rest of the field, onto the back of him.
Yeah, that's always a very hard braking zone to get right, as well, Milkovic and Harrison have just shown, because you are always turning as you're trying to brake, and it's about balancing all your inputs just so that you can get the car slowed down and turned in, but at the same time you don't want to lock up the fronts of anything, because then it's going to affect your ability to rotate the car around the apex.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a nice corner, that one, to drive.
No, I've never heard of a driver that likes it. Davenport is actually closing on the cars in front at the moment. Yeah, down to about 2 seconds now.
Yeah, and this is a replay of the start then, on board with Olan Inman, and he just gets a brilliant launch off the line. You can see he already draws level with Adrien Simon, and then that gives him the inside because Simon can't cut across. He's got the inside for turn 1, and that's going to give him the outside line for turn 2, where he can just slingshot around Simon. Simon really did quite back out of it there, but I think Inman was always going to have that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Simon was wise to back out of it, because if he hadn't, we'd have seen a nasty accident.
Yeah, definitely, and the team would not have been impressed by that.
No, taking out your teammate on lap 1 generally doesn't go down well with any of the team members.
It certainly doesn't, as we see, I think that's Kiara Thunder and Arden Hutchinson battling over last.
Not gonna lie, if I would, yeah, it is Hutchinson. If I were Hutchinson in that situation, I wouldn't be entirely happy with Kiara Thunder moving across under braking. But we were watching Tumo Kinnaman, I believe, chasing down the Franklin of Ruiz? Wagner?
Pass.
Wagner.
Yes, Wagner. It's got the number 1 on it.
Yeah, boy. And there's Ruiz.
But as Carson Davenport does indeed set the fastest lap then, as he sets about closing on the 2 DS cars in front, and he's got the gap now down to under 2 seconds.
But don't forget, those tyres will probably be no good to him by the time he catches up to the other 2.
Exactly. It's very, very warm here in Bahrain. Unsurprisingly, we have a rather warm track temperature of 34 degrees, and I have to say it is quite hot in this commentary box because the aircon's packed in.
Yes, I'm extremely sweaty, and everyone wanted to know that. And I think that's now a Sinky going very defensive.
Well, that didn't work, did it?
No, not quite. Forcing yourself that far to the inside is essentially just giving Powers the place.
There was one of the cars behind as well was doing that, very, very close over to the pit wall along the straight.
Oh, we've got a move here from James Harding on Puccio Giordano. Last minute move. They're still wheel to wheel. That was some very courageous stuff, but I think Giordano might hold on. No, I don't believe it. Harding's gone round the outside. Oh, and he's turned them round.
Oh, they've all spun.
Welcome to Rallycross 2016.
However, I'd just like to point out that's not Giordano.
It's not Giordano.
Giordano's not in the car.
I forget this. He's still a bit poorly from
He is, yes, after his massive accident at Radion in Belgium. And Hilario Bull is still in that seat.
It was still a fantastic overtake from Harding, though.
It was, yes. So take nothing away from him, just because it was on Bull and not Giordano. As
Milkovic now takes the... Oh, no! He smacked the bollard, so he slowed down. And that's allowed Milkovic just about to hang on by the skin of his teeth to that position.
Yeah, Milkovic really struggling here, and it's become a trademark of Ingram this year, hasn't it? They've been strong in qualifying, but it gets to the race and their pace just deserts them.
Yeah, their car seems well balanced on low fuel, because we always see them come back later on in the race, but on heavy fuel, either it's the way that the chassis is set up, or there's a lack of downforce somewhere, they don't look settled at all. No,
absolutely not, and both of them struggling to hold on to their respective positions of 4th and 7th at the moment, as Jean Matson also coming under attack from Enrique Ruiz. And let's not forget, I mean, there's a, there's a battle between all three of those guys. Well, no, not Meteor. Meteor is clear in second. But there's a battle between Fun, Ingram, and Franklin for third, fourth, and fifth in the Constructors' Championship.
That's
so
true.
all these positions are vital.
Speaking of a battle, I believe we could be about to see one for the lead, as Davenport has closed right up on the DS cars now, and he's improved his personal best by 2/10.
Can I just say, Joachim van Snelheid on the back of a pack that contains Ingrams, Meteors, and a Franklin? That's a fine effort, young lad.
Even if he is on the softs, then he is certainly flattering the car, I think, in this instance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Milkovic under attack, and he loses the place this time to Halverson. No, wait. Is that?
Yeah, it is the Dane, I think.
Yeah,
he's going to come back. Oh, and they've rubbed wheels face to face. That's a lovely camera angle.
It is. I quite like it. Let's
Yeah,
have another
same.
one, please. I don't know.
But through into fourth goes Johan Halverson.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time coming, let's face it, but even so, he'll be glad that he's managed to get the move done. Now, Davenport's got quite a hard job ahead of him, because while the Yamaha power unit is quite strong in a straight line, so we've got a yellow flag in the middle sector. Wow,
oh, there's contact between the
big yellow
Meteors!
flag. Oh! And out goes Harrison.
No, Harrison!
Harrison's lost his rear wing, and out of the race he goes. He'll be listed as in the pits, but wow.
So what happened there then between the two Meteors?
I'm sure we'll get a replay.
Because Halverson had just made his way past Milkovic, so they had the Ingram between them.
So unless one of the Ingrams made a mistake and put them into each other, I honestly don't know. There is an Ingram that's also out of.
No, that Ingram's just so far ahead now because everyone else collided. So that's Milkovic now clearing fourth place. Matson up to fifth, and Meteor. Well, Halverson has slipped back to eighth. Well, he's just made up seventh past Joachim van Snelheid, and Stuart Harrison is out of this race.
Yeah, and Ruiz is trying to set up Matson there as we see some three cars going. Oh, he's just spun it around. Oh, he drove into his teammate and caused him to retire.
Well, let's be fair, Harrison could have avoided him.
I don't really see how. Harrison was trying to take the racing line and Halverson moved his car forward into his teammate's side pod.
Yeah, exactly. Harrison was trying to take the racing line. There was so much more room on the inside that he could have used to avoid a spinning car. I don't get why you drive so close to someone who's trying to recover.
I would like to see another replay of that, but for me, Harrison didn't do anything wrong there.
Personally, I'd say he drove too close. Why risk putting yourself in that position when something like that could potentially happen? I'd want to get as far away from a car that's kind of out of control as possible.
Yeah, but I mean, also, I would say that he's trying to make the most out of the situation while his teammate could effectively be seen as driving recklessly. But that's a debate that the stewards are going to have to make, no doubt. Although, because they're teammates, they might not choose to do anything about it, as we've got the Franklin of Wagner attacking under attack from Van Snelheid.
No, I think he is attacking Joachim. At no point has he been ahead.
Wait.
Yeah, because Wagner got slightly past him on the straight, but Van Snelheid had the inside line, so took it back.
Oh yeah, because he was in 10th, and then that happened with the Ingrams. So still, he's doing well to hold off the German, the world champion German, might I add.
Yes, he certainly is.
Although he hasn't really shown it this year for me.
No, he certainly hasn't.
He's been probably, in my opinion, and I'm sorry, Alroy, the least convincing world champion we've ever had.
Well, you'll get no disagreement from me.
Even Nathaniel Powers, who won it in the opening year, obviously, he then went to Downton and did put in some cracking performances for them over the next few seasons, obviously.
Exactly, especially in cars that haven't been particularly impressive.
Which is every year. I'm
Yes.
so glad we're friends.
As
like
we
this,
see
Bradley.
3 for the lead then, Olin Inman leading Adrien Simon and Carson Davenport. The 3 of them nose to tail and split by just 0.9 of a second as we start lap 10.
Indeed, they've got a bit of a three-way horse on their hands, but as long as the teammates can work together and keep Davenport out of it.
A 3-way horse?
That's what they call it.
I don't think I've ever heard that phrase used.
Oh, well, now you have. Although, speaking of phrases, I believe it was in Japan where for the first time I actually heard Martin Brundle say he was a day late and $1 short.
Yes? Was that Japan?
Yes, I believe. I'm
Was it
going
more
to say
recently?
Japan.
No,
Well-
no, it was the USA.
No, it wasn't in the USA because I fell asleep during the US Grand Prix. It was that bad.
No, I'm sure it was in the US Grand Prix.
What, the one where Max Verstappen definitely earned his drive? We shouldn't be talking about this over Formula Virtual.
We shouldn't know, and we should thank God that we don't have a driver of the day, because
Yeah.
all of the Dutch fans would...
Would
well,
just...
Felix Bayer would be very popular.
Oh,
More
yeah.
popular than he is already.
I think he is one of the most popular guys in the paddock.
No,
Really.
he definitely is.
I mean, a lot of drivers I think hold some resentment to Inman for being so young and, well, having earned himself a very good opportunity.
You think so?
Well, I mean, we've seen it before where we see young drivers fast track to the top because they're good drivers, and some people just aren't quite happy with it. But
Well, I mean, I don't get that impression from speaking to people in the paddock, but I suppose it would make sense. And
would they really
Yeah,
say
no,
it to the
that's
guy
it.
who supplies the engines, though?
sorry,
Oh, hang on, Beckenbauer's got a good run here on Helsinki.
sights.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
We shouldn't-
He's passed.
Sights.
Ah.
1-0.
I guess so, mate. And Hilario Bull is actually has the measure of his teammate at the moment.
He does, yeah. Is currently 7 seconds ahead. Although that could be as a result of what happened on the first lap.
Oh yes, it may well be.
Oh, and
Ow.
into the pits comes Carson Davenport then. So he's managed 11 laps, so that looks to be a 5-stopper on the soft tyres as he almost spins coming into the pit box.
Yeah, very aggressive, trying to make up as much time as he can because he knows that he's on the wrong strategy. Sorry, but there's no way that any kind of increase in speed can warrant a 5-stop.
It depends how many stops those on the mediums have to make.
I'd say a medium tyres would probably be on a 3-stopper.
As in also then comes the other soft-tyred runner, Jochen van der Snelheid. There are a few, but they're all... a few more, but they're more towards the back of the field.
Yes, how do you do?
Well, we'll see how this is work. Carson's come back out in 4th place.
Yeah, but don't forget there was that incident with the Ingrams and the Meteors.
There was, that's true. But hey, one pit stop down in 4th place. That can only
Oh.
help.
Hang on. Were they on the softs too?
Yes,
They were.
Yes. The drivers on soft tyres were, in grid order, Carson Davenport, Jochen van Snelheid, Hilario Bull, Judson Sykes, both firsts of Douglas Bacon, Narden Hutchinson, and Aaron Einerson in the Holmquist.
Strange then, the Hilario Bull hasn't made a stop yet.
It is, yes. In fact,
If he can make
everyone has pitted on the softs apart from Bull.
it, well, that could prove to be rather advantageous for him because that could mean he can go. Ooh, he might be able to do it on a 4-stop. No. Yeah.
Yeah, 12.
Hell, even just making it to even just making 2 stints, 12 laps long, he'll be able to do a 4-stop.
He will indeed. So in fact, I mean, any of them could really, because I'm sure it can't be too difficult to eke out an extra lap.
No,
We have random yellow flags in the middle sector.
Maybe like the third and fourth stints, just stretching them out on just an extra lap, because lighter on fuel. And in he comes now, the end of lap 12, into his first pit stop of the day.
Yes, the next guys we'll be waiting for then are the medium tired runners. So it'd be interesting to see the difference in how long the tyres last.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect the mediums to go much longer, because I think these have to be some of the hottest conditions we've ever raced in.
I'd say probably around lap 20.
I'm gonna go with a 19 or an 18. If it's before 19, then it's a 3-stop. After 19, it's a 2-stop.
That's very true, actually.
I totally didn't just work that out in my head while talking, because I'm a god.
No, you didn't. It's all written down on the wall over there. As we see, that's Will Hoskins chasing down Ruiz, as Carson Davenport says another fastest lap, and that's an absolute flyer.
I'll say he's already made back about. I think the pit lane here costs around 23 seconds, I'd say. So he's made back about 4 or 5 seconds in one lap.
Yeah, and the gap between he's already passed Milkovic, so he's back up to third. So we've missed that, and he's only 18 seconds off the race lead.
He has taken time out of the front runner's hand over fist. This might work. If this works, it'll be the most fantastic strategy call I've ever seen.
Oh, as one of the Westwoods, I think that's Chris Dedulu, getting very, very close to the back of James Harding.
Can't quite make a move stick there. Obviously, James Harding, considered one of the old dogs. I believe he's participated in most V-Prix. And so he's definitely not going to let someone get past him that easily. As Jochen van Snelheid is right on the back of him now. Those soft tyres are just switching on straight away.
Yeah, and into the pits comes Kiara Thunder, and I believe she's running on the mediums. No, she's on the hard tyres.
She's on the hards?
There must be a problem there.
Yeah, she must have sustained damage or something. But I wouldn't believe that the hards will only go 14 laps.
Well, no, considering the guys on mediums are still running there.
It's true. Now let's see what the gap is back to third place.
It is.
Oh wow! He's taken about 2 seconds out of him that lap.
Well, I don't know. It was 18. It was 18.0, and it's now 16.9. So only 1.1.
No, it was 18.9.
No, it wasn't that high.
It was.
Are you sure?
I'm quite confident. Oh, Christodoulou moves right to the left-hand side under braking. Well, before. Now he's under braking.
Oh.
Van Snelheid tries to go around the outside. They touch.
The superior grip of the fresh soft tyres works for Van Snelheid, and he's driven past him.
Gotta say, I'm not entirely happy with that move.
I'll give over.
Well, I mean, he was always going to get past, but Van Snelheid really, for me, only got past by pinching Christodoulou on the apex, not really giving him enough space.
There was room, there was a car's width, that's enough.
They touched. And
there was still a car's width.
I mean, nothing will get done about it because it's not a big...
Oh, and Johan Helgeson sweeps around the outside of Will Hoskins.
Wow.
And I think that must have been a defensive move, because Hoskins has passed Wagner?
Yes, it looks that way. I mean, to be honest, Halverson kind of just made that look like he wasn't even trying, for me.
Yeah, well, I should imagine Hoskins is probably coming from quite far back, and he's going to go then. Hoskins moves across to the right-hand side of the track. He's going to try a lunge, surely, down the inside of... Nope, no, he's given up on that idea already.
Down the inside of nope. But he's right on the gearbox of the Dane now.
As Davenport now just 15 seconds off the lead. So it's another 2 seconds.
Do you believe me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I never disbelieved you.
Yay! Best friends forever.
As long as you never say that again.
Okay. I think that's a fair. I think that's a fair agreement.
I have to say this isn't working for Jochen van Snelheid at the moment. He's come out and he's in all sorts of traffic.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know actually, because Christodoulou has dropped 5 seconds to him since he got past.
He has, but he's got 3 more cars in front of them. The next one of whom is his teammate, who is stubbornly refusing to get out of the way at the moment.
I don't think telling an Australian what to do ever went well, to be honest.
No.
Oh, I think we've... Yeah, so Powers has made his way past Christodoulou?
Has it?
Or has Thunder made his way
Thunder,
past?
that was Thunder. The first down one was Thunder, because Powers got involved in that chaos at turn 4 on the opening lap.
Oh, yeah.
Was that smoke from the back of Jochen van Snelheid?
I hope.
Or was it dust?
Probably dust. We were in the middle
Sand.
of the desert, don't forget.
That is true. But at 14.1 now, the gap between on Inman and Davenport. So he's still taking time out, but it's at a much slower rate now.
And I think Van Snelheid was going to have quite a good run into turn 1, but we won't get to see it.
No, we're going to go back to the battle for 6th place.
Yay.
As Halverson leads Hoskins and Wagner.
To be fair, it's been a very good battle. They've been pretty much nose to tail all race. These 3 anyway. We've got obviously Halverson is the newcomer compared to Hoskins and Wagner, who've been in it pretty much since the start.
They have both been in it since the start.
Woo!
In fact, they've both competed in every race.
No, they haven't.
Yes, they have.
I thought Wagner had a year off.
No. No. He had a year in a 2014 Team 23 car, which wasn't brilliant, which I suppose you could pretty much attribute to a year off. But no, he was there.
True. Fair enough. And obviously Hoskins, as we know, he challenged for the title, or well, didn't challenge in Season 1. Season 2, I would say he challenged for the title, but he really was the rightful champion in my book.
And he's looking to the inside of Johan Halverson here at turn 1. Will Hoskins down the inside, and easy as you like for the Brit.
What a pass. Just textbook stuck it to the inside and said, get out of my way, I'm coming through.
As Davenport takes another 2 seconds out of the 2 DS cars up front.
I'm sure the DS strategists are going to be working furiously to figure out what they're doing wrong, because 2 seconds a lap is quite a substantial margin.
It is, as that's Adrien Simon just getting past some back markers, and it looks as though he's lost a little bit of time there to his teammate.
Yeah, it does actually. So he must have just got bulked a bit by them. Oh, it's in the pits, comes in.
Yeah, that was Inman. That was Inman diving in, as we see. I think that was Wagner all over the curbs, and that's Will Hoskins. So Hoskins, having just lost out to both Halverson and Wagner.
Huh. Might have made a mistake.
I wonder if he spun or half spun.
It's possible.
So where's Inman going to feed back out then? He's well in 3rd.
Yeah, easily. As Milkovic and Ruiz have entered the pits as well. Simon, I think.
No, they haven't. There's Milkovic at turn 1.
Oh, Ruiz came into the pits though.
He did
Simon carried
indeed.
on for another lap. Now that's interesting because that means Simon might be able to make it a 2-stop, whereas Inman might struggle to make it a 2-stop.
That's very true. And Inman has come out 7 seconds behind Davenport. So he.
Pit stop is about 20 seconds then.
Yeah.
But is Davenport going to continue to draw out a gap, or? But at the moment, Davenport I don't think is still doing enough, because I mean, to actually make the gap work. Because you think he's got to be overall
50 seconds quicker in the race to attribute 2 extra pit stops.
Yeah, between 50 and 60.
But then he's 2 seconds a lap quicker.
True. This
But
could
that
be
will
quite tight at the end
tail
of the
off
race.
more now that the DS cars are on fresh mediums, and he's on slightly worn soft tyres. So
Yeah, but he'll be getting rid of those in a couple laps.
he will. That's very true. But
This-
will he be as much
Will-
quicker on the as obviously Inman is moved back up to second now that Simon has pitted? Will Davenport be that 2 seconds quicker again on fresh softs when the two DS cars are now on fresh mediums?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
We will indeed. Matson has dropped to 15th for some reason. I know he's pitted, but I wouldn't have expected him to come out that far down.
I think he was involved in the contact on lap not lap 1, sorry. I don't know.
Oh, so they could have been replacing damage and therefore a slow pit stop.
Could be. That's the only thing I can think of.
Will Hoskins also pitted and has rejoined in 12th place, while Ruiz rejoined in 7th.
Oh,
That's a solid drive so far from Ruiz.
yeah. That's a net 4th place.
I think he was behind Milkovic when he pitted.
He was, yeah, actually.
But even so, could be a good little scrap between those two.
Depends on
Especially
if
as this is on board with Ruiz then. Ruiz. And he's all over his teammate Elroy Wagner, who should really be letting him pass.
You'd think that would be in the team's best interest, but he seems to be more interested in keeping him behind. But I don't know if that will be the case for long. Worn hards versus fresh mediums. I think I know which one I would go for. He makes a mistake on the traction zone of the last corner.
Yeah, he got all up on the curb there, and that's going to give Ruiz a run as the two Franklins head side by side down the start-finish straight. They're going to be wheel to wheel into turn 1. Who's going to yield? It's Wagner. Ruiz goes through, but he's so nearly balls that up.
He nearly just spun himself round. I think the drivers are using the curbs very aggressively today, and that could be also attributing to additional tyre wear.
It's not working for Davenport. Inman is catching our race leader. He's already closed 2 seconds.
I think fresh tyres seem to be the main thing here then, really. So fresh tyres seem to be the clincher, so the more time I think you're spending on new tyres. Oh! Powers does well to save that.
As he gets a shot from one of the North Stars.
Yeah, he could have very easily gone into that corner arse first. Shall I come up with a different terminology for that?
No, that worked.
As Thunder, the first of the hard runners to make a stop. Oh,
Yes.
hello. We could
So that's
about to see the hard runners in.
Those rallying lessons have obviously paid off for Powers.
Absolutely. Oh, that's... He could have done with some rallying lessons.
He could heavily into the wall then. One of
Ellington.
the AMRs. That's Lewis Ellington. He's not having the best of races, is he?
Not really, it's just, it doesn't seem to be his day. You get that sometimes though, you just turn up and everything doesn't go your way, but you've got to keep it up because at the end of the day, that's what you're paid to do.
Yeah, but let's be fair, things haven't really been going Ellington's way all season.
No.
He's been utterly spanked in the Drivers' Championship by Felix Payer.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have put it that way, but you're definitely not wrong.
But then having said that,
Uh-huh.
I was looking through the statistics earlier and quite interestingly, Ellington has actually outperformed Payer in the last 4 or 5 qualifying sessions.
Oh. Really?
That's what I thought.
Oh. Timo Kinnaman's in the points. Not for long.
No, look at those he has behind him. Will Hoskins and John Matson.
Yeah.
And in for his second stop then comes Carson Davenport. So again, he could only make those tyres last 11 laps.
Could be quite tight for him.
And through straight away goes Olin Inman back into the lead of the Bahrain V-Prix. Simon moves through into second. And what's going to be between Milkovic and Davenport then?
Probably.
Is Milkovic going to go up to third? I don't think he's pitted.
I think Milkovic will.
Or did he?
no.
Did he pit? Because he should have gone through if he hadn't pitted. No, that's all the wheel to wheel.
That's going to be agonising there for Nikolai Milkovic, who had been hoping to capitalise on another pit stop for Davenport.
Johan Halverson and Enrique Ruiz get very close down the main straight. Halverson dives to the inside to defend, but Ruiz on the fresher tyres is going to sweep around the outside of turn 1. That just gives him the inside line for turn 2, and he's already through as Halverson gets all over the sand on the inside.
And that is how Van Snelheid should have passed Kinnaman a few laps ago.
He still hasn't let this go.
I won't let it go.
As the gap between the two DS cars up front then is now nearly 5 seconds Inman's advantage. As oh, this is what happened to Ellington then. So he just spun round and then he got a whack.
Then he got confused. Oh.
And then he got another whack. And then he tried to recover and put it in the wall.
I think you'll find a bit more throttle and he could have actually flicked the rear end round.
Yeah, that's what he seemed like he was trying to do, but he didn't quite judge that right, did he?
No, not really. He tried, that's the important part.
He did. I'd just like to point out that Nathaniel Powers is ahead of Marcus Thunder.
For once.
Despite both of them having... I mean, they've both made one stop now, and yet Powers got caught up in all that melee on the first lap and dropped, well, to last, and Thunder didn't.
Speaking of Thunder, some big news for 2017.
Yes, I was going to mention this, but you brought it up first. Marcus Thunder will be leaving the series. It was announced between the last race in Turkey and here.
Indeed. And where is he going, Bradley? Would you like to talk
He's
about?
moving over to the all-new for 2017 Indy Virtual Series.
Woo! Round of applause.
However, he will remain on as the team's reserve driver.
Oh. That could be fun.
Just in case.
Just in case, man. Oh, as we've got Ellington making a comeback, he's just flown past Thunder. I mean, he kind of left the track to do it, but...
Yeah, Ellington desperate to fight back after that incident.
Yeah. And Thunder might now have a run on him, though I severely doubt it.
Yeah, so do I. But all of this means now then that Marcus Thunder has just, after this, 5 races left in his current Formula Virtual career. I mean, there is, it was reported in the media there was the option for him to return later on at a later date, but who knows?
Well, if he enjoys Indy Virtual enough, then he's probably just going to think to himself, I'm going to stay over here. I mean, you think he's got himself a win over here. He's driven for several years successfully. He might just think to himself, it's time for a new challenge. We've seen drivers do it before.
Well, that was the reason he gave for making the decision, and both him and the team were at pains to point out that he'd made that decision long before the announcement that Klaas van Snelheid would drive for Downton next year. So it wasn't that he was being pushed out of the team.
But they just decided, right, if he wants out, we can put Klaas back in. Not back in, we can put him in. Exactly,
and that means Klaas will be driving next year alongside Nathaniel Powers, the Downton team.
Yes, as we've got Kinnaman and Jochen van Snelheid about to go wheel to wheel. The two would-be teammates for next season. Or would have been. They would have been.
Oh yes, they would have been.
Yes.
As that was Halverson getting slightly sideways in front of the two firsts, who I presume he's just lapped. Hope he's just lapped them.
We hope so, as we've missed something quite substantial in the race.
As this is a good little. Oh, Kinnaman gets very up on 2 wheels.
And Harding.
Oh yeah.
And again.
Oh. And there goes front wing.
Again, rather a lack of space given, really.
Yeah, okay, I'll agree with you on that one.
But,
that was too close.
Yeah, so I presume that probably won't even be fixed in the stop. That's just an end plate, really.
No, that's not important. Well, let's be fair, not much on the Westwood's important.
No. In fact, it doesn't. It even looks like he's only chipped off half of the end plate. But it's not like they're gonna miss any. What's it called? We don't have any of it. Neither do you.
Up force? No.
No, wait. I think it's something like
Downstream.
that. Yeah, no. Wait, no. I
No,
don't
that
think
doesn't
it is
sound
that.
right.
Oh, I'm getting something in my ear. Apparently it's called Talk About Something Interesting.
Oh, yeah, I just had that as well.
yeah.
Alright, mate, rude.
Downforce.
We could just take these earpieces out.
We could.
Bye, Jim.
Riding on board with John Matson now. He's got a good view of, I think that's Hoskins and Bayer in front of him. Oh. I should have probably read the top and then guessed. Would have been a lot easier. But the race is kind of reaching a dull point. It's worth noting that another couple of laps and anyone on the hard tyres is committed to a one stop.
Yes, that's a very good point, apart from Thunder.
Yeah, who's unfortunately going to be on a two-stop. Davenport smashes that fastest lap.
Oh, was that what that was? I wondered who popped up as fastest lap setter.
Fastest lap setter. Oh, that should be.
Well,
our
what
new
else
term.
would you name them?
The fastest lapper.
No, that just sounds weird.
The fastest driver. Fastest car. Quickest car. Purple driver.
Triple purple.
Triple per. No, because you don't need triple per. Oh! That was like millimetre close there. Wait, was that an overtake? Hoskins on there? It was, wasn't it?
Yes, Hoskins coming back through after his pit stop.
Here comes Milkovic on Bayer.
And Bayer hasn't pitted yet.
Ah, that could be why. Well,
Because he's running on the hards.
Madsen manages to take the place. Oh, Kinnaman's made his way back past Van Snelheid at some point. I think. I hope.
That was a good move from the Dutchman.
Nice and tidy, really. Didn't seem like there was any contact. For once.
No, but then he did pinch quite a bit at the
As per usual, Bradley.
That was
as
Chris
per
Dulu
usual.
he's just gone by.
Oh. How was Kinnaman like 6-7 seconds off him?
I'm presuming. Oh, Van Snelheid's on fresh soft tyres.
Oh yeah.
Duh.
My mistake.
So what have we got? Oh, we've got an interesting little battle here between one of the first and one of the North Stars. I think that's Nowasinki and Bacon.
It could well be Bradley, seeing as though Arden Hutchinson is the next card in front.
Yes, so, that's a good recovery as well. Hutchinson, who was last earlier on.
Yeah. He's doing a decent job out there.
Is this Bacon going to go around the outside of Nowasinki? We're not going to see because no one's interested in the battle for 20 seconds.
No.
Or at least the cameraman clearly isn't.
I think this track has definitely identified the Holmqvist's biggest weakness, which is their power unit this season, I'd say.
Oh, you mean the Renault power unit that Westwood is switching to next season?
A little bit. It's not for... yeah, it is for definite. Yeah, Westwood moving to a Renault power supply after what reports have said, because they've failed to sell on any of their units in the 3 years they've been making them.
There were yellow flags there. Sorry, I just wondered if there was anything going on, but seems not, so carry on.
It's okay, it was a bit of a sideways moment there from a Franklin there. But yes, they couldn't really sell any of their power units, despite them being regarded widely as one of the strongest power units for the 3 seasons they were used. They've been used. Okay, how about...
Sorry,
well, at least for last season, they had one of the best power units out there.
Did they?
In a straight line, go back to watching any clips from Monza or Spa, you'll see. Where they actually started to get good results.
But remind me, which power unit is it that's powering the 2 DS cars that are leading this race at the moment?
The same one in the cars that haven't really scored, 1 point this season.
We've got more than 1 point!
How many have you got?
We've got 6 now!
Oh wow! That's so impressive. You
in
should
fact,
be
we
very
scored
proud of
4 in
yourself.
The Netherlands and 2 in Belgium.
Oh, hang on. That's Bayer in the pits for a fresh set of hard tyres. Now, if he could, that was on lap 28. So that means he might not be able to make the tyres last.
No, that's going to be very tight.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got carnage.
I love that. Oh, we've got carnage. It's not wrong, because we do.
And which of the first was that was facing backwards? Is that
That's Bacon.
Hutchinson.
Oh, after he did so well to come back from last.
And now he's got to come back from last again. Well,
It's okay.
last bar the Holmquist.
He can do it. As we watch, once again, Van Snelheid has tracked down his teammate and is about to
Get stuck
violate him.
behind him.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. See, something I find interesting. Timo Kinnaman has dropped about 20-30 seconds on the cars in front. And yet still it says he has not made a pit stop.
No, nor has. In fact, he's one of the only ones out there that hasn't. Well, the others who haven't pitted are Elroy Wagner. Well, no,
In comes
Kinnaman has
Nowasinki.
pitted now. No, he hasn't.
No, that's not
And Nowasinki, but that's Nowasinki in the pits.
Yeah. So we assume Wagner will be in this lap then.
You'd imagine so. There's
I
not much
would.
point
Oh,
continuing.
there's
There is
Kinnaman.
Kinnaman. The gap between the leaders is 15 seconds.
Really?
When did that happen?
I think it's been about that. Oh, wait, you mean Idman and Simon? Well, we did
Yeah.
see Simon was starting to drop off.
Yeah, but that quickly?
Yeah,
He was only 5 behind when he came out of the pits.
I don't know yet, to be honest.
That's Inman
Not
must
a
have-
wizard.
What?
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 I said I'm not a wizard.
Oh, well,
Here
why
we
not
go.
that? We've got a replay of the carnage. So Hutchinson got on the curb, tried to correct it, didn't, hit Milkovic, and then collected everyone else. Well, actually, to be fair, they just kind of drove into him.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything he could have done there.
Silly driving all round.
What on earth was that? Don't
I
answer.
don't know.
You don't even know what you were going for.
No.
Jesus, man. Jesus Christ.
What was that? Was that an Irish Australian?
Yes. The Jesus was Irish and the Christ was Australian.
That was
Straight through
terrible.
Marty, mate. Dylan is just going to be so unhappy with me after this race.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm just butchering his country's accent.
Kinnaman has pitted now. Wagner has.
So Wagner is definitely making those tyres go a long way. Wagner's just going to go to the end. Although a pit stop would prove quite a loss for Wagner, as he would be dropping back to roughly 9th or 10th place.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see how much longer those tyres actually go.
Yeah. To be fair, the hard tyres are pretty much like putting bricks on the car and saying go nuts. Except they're made of rubber.
Rubber bricks.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a Holmquist.
Oh,
that,
that's-
that was stupid.
Not really how you get out of the way. I mean, initially I was going to make jokes saying, oh, that's one way to get out of the way. And then he drove into it and was like, you ruined my punchline. But yeah,
For some reason, Alexei Nowasinki has slipped behind both of the Holmquists.
Because he made
But
a pit
yeah,
stop.
that was Aaron Einerson being a little bit silly.
Little bits. And the answer is to your query is that he made a pit stop. That's how he's dropped behind the whole fist. As we've got Milkovic under attack now from Wagner. Can't make the move stick.
No, that's Milkovic going past Wagner.
Are you sure?
Yes, positive, because Wagner was just in fifth with my teammate.
Oh yeah. So at the moment, Franklin are gonna still lose ground to Fun for third.
Are they?
Yeah, we think Franklin are gonna be getting 20 points. Fun will be getting
21.
and Ingram will be getting 14.
14.
So
Yeah,
it's
we
close.
can maths.
Yeah, woo! That is people being lapped, or well, have been lapped, not being lapped right this very second. There's a very hang on. The Inmans are no the
The Inmans.
the Inmans. The Mathershaws. I thought they were quite close together, unless I saw a different car.
No, I literally. Oh, what you mean on track?
Yeah, man.
No, surely not.
No, surely not.
Not
he
from
says.
15 seconds. We'd have seen something.
No, but second place is now under threat, I'd say. No, because Davenport will have to hit this lap. Don't think the soft tyres were a very good call this race. Ow.
No, I dare say that may be the case. Although it looks as though he's got enough pace to maybe hold on to the final podium spot because no one else seems to even be close.
No.
Which just
Depends
goes
on
to
how
show
he
the
plays
pace
his
that
character.
DS have in this race.
Yeah, definitely. Nobody
I mean,
can
they're
really get close to
absolutely
him.
bloody miles clear.
We've got Wagner defending now from Matson.
Well, he hasn't
losing.
pitted, has he?
No, he's losing time hand over fist now.
I mean, those hard tyres are going to be like...
Worn down to the canvas.
Yeah, I was going to go for some sort of likeness, but I couldn't think of... Oh! As Matson tries to go around the outside of Wagner, but Halverson's already there and just stands on the brakes at the last moment, gets sideways, and poor old Halverson nearly rear-ended him.
To give you sort of like a feeling for how much time Wagner has lost, he's roughly 12 seconds a lap slower than the leaders at the moment. At least
Really?
that's what he lost last lap.
No.
He was just under 50 seconds behind the leader last lap. And now he is
Ooh,
just
up
over
the
a
inside
minute.
of Matson goes Johan Halverson with a ridiculously opportunistic move, but he's made it stick, and through into 8th place goes the Meteor.
Fair play. I mean, can't really say fair.
And he's going to go past Wagner as
Wow.
well. 2 cars in 2 corners. Brilliant overtaking from the young Dane.
That's mighty impressive as he goes defensive now to try and break the slipstream for Wagner, but Matson is going to be on the attack now. Ooh,
And
this
he's
could
now
be a bit
realised he's
tight.
so far ahead he doesn't need to defend.
Oh, yeah, it's true. And Wagner just doesn't have the grip to even fight back.
No, so Elroy Wagner already slipped down to a 9th place then. If he's not careful, he'll be out of the points in no time, and his what looks to be a 0-stop strategy will look pretty stupid. The lead gap down to 11.9 seconds. Davenport has made his 3rd stop and has fallen to 4th behind Enrique Ruiz.
Sorry, I stopped paying attention for a little bit.
I noticed.
Yeah, but don't forget, Ruiz is probably going to have to make another stop. He's on the medium tyres.
Yeah, but Davenport's going to have to make another 2.
Oh, yeah.
That Ruiz could have just pulled a podium out of thin air.
Yeah, but we've seen him do things like that before.
Well, yeah, we certainly have.
Don't forget also, that, like, just to remind you of how good a job he's doing, this is widely regarded as a power track, which means where aero really doesn't come into it. And Ruiz is basically taking a car that really shouldn't be doing anything substantial at a track like this. He's put it on the podium at the moment.
Yeah, I mean they struggled in well, both practice and qualifying. They were 7th and 10th respectively in both sessions.
Yeah.
Ruiz 7th in practice, Wagner 10th, and in qualifying it was the other way around. But yeah, I mean it's clear that Honda. Wow, I mean it does in the Ingram seemed to go okay in qualifying.
They might
I think
just be
probably
better
more
at-
set up for straight line speed than downforce.
Yeah, either that or don't forget it. Oh, that was a bit of a snap-on oversteer moment as he came into the pit box.
It was. I think that's bacon. It is bacon.
That is bacon.
Bacon.
I love bacon. Not the guy, the food. So I think it could be. Don't forget, they could have a better, I don't know, way of setting up their engine, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It could be keeping it cooler, things like that. Because the hotter your engine gets, the better, the worse the performance is. As again, Davenport smashes that fastest lap. That's okay. All the drivers seem to be going to the pit boxes like that now.
Maybe it's just a slippery pit lane.
It could be. There could have been an oil spillage or something. Just BP problems. But yeah, obviously the hotter your engine runs, and then the worse it does. And well, I mean, we have seen that Franklin have a bit of a tighter package at the back than Ingram do.
Yes, it's a very, very tight rear end on that Franklin.
We're watching Timo Kinnaman right on the back of Carl Beckenbauer. Give me a minute, I've just got to go sort something out.
As Olin Inman pits from the lead then for his second stop. And that means he now has 20 laps to go on this final set of medium tyres. That is going to be very, very close indeed as to whether he can make that to the end.
If he can't make that to the end, then as Ruiz now peels into the pits, we've got a large gaggle of cars on the pit straight. I love that word, a gaggle.
Gaggle.
I think you're the one who taught me that word.
Probably.
You teach me lots of words. So yeah, Ruiz is in the pits now. But if Inman does have to pit again, then Ruiz might be able to take second. That would really help Franklin in the
apart from the fact that Ruiz is just pitted on the same lap.
Has he? Oh yeah, he has. What a
we were literally watching him in the pits as you said that.
Well, that for me pretty much hands the race to Simon.
Unless Adrien comes in on this lap.
Of course, I mean, they came in.
I think it was a lap apart last time.
Hang on. Yeah, no, of course, because they came in 18 and then 36, but he came in on lap 19, so he should be able to make the tyres last to 38. That's his target lap, I would say, in the strategy. Here we go.
No, he's in.
Oh, he's peeling into the pits. That blows it wide open. He's only managed to go 18 laps this time.
So if they have to go...
He
no,
has to
maybe
go
not.
20 laps, and Inman and Ruiz have to go 21. So Inman and Ruiz are definitely going to have to pit, but it'll be very tight for.
I think Simon will have to pit as well. We're going to have a lot of pit stops at the end of this this V-Prix that could totally shake the order up.
We definitely could.
As we go on board with one of the AMRs, that's Felix Baer, who slingshots past Elroy Wagner into the corner we were talking about earlier that's difficult to get right. But Felix Baer absolutely nailed that one. As James Harding behind now will look to find a way past Elroy Wagner as well. Let's not forget, Wagner is on those worn hard tyres and the stubbornly refusing to pit, and look how much Felix Baer is just easing away from them now.
Yeah. Who's that?
Wonderful input as always.
That's Will Hoskins. Yeah, who's that? Will Hoskins is in the pits at the end of lap 37.
And in comes Harding.
At the end of lap 37. So a lot of the cars have been a bit too hard on their tyres in the middle stint, which means that they might end up struggling to make their tyres go to the end. Why am I changing my accents in the middle of a sentence?
I don't know, but I find it really weird that we both yawned at exactly the same time.
Well, we have a psychic link after we started dabbling in black magic.
As that was rather close into turn one.
The fuck was that? Excuse my French.
Rather close. Oh, and that was even closer because that is contact, and part of the front wing of the North Star has just broken off, but he's made the position through.
He has
past,
indeed.
That was Novosinki past Hutchinson.
And there's Beckenbauer. He has come into the pits for a second time on lap 38, which means he's going to be able to make those tyres go to the end. I've just had a thought.
Oh no.
A lot of these cars that are a lap down can afford to pit on lap 37 and make it to the end without another pit stop.
They can, and let's be fair, it's quite a few of them that are a lap down.
Yeah, I mean the two at the front have really just been insanely quick.
That's Simon just with having lapped James Harding.
Yes, it is. So Harding won't need to make another stop, even though he came in a lap early. That's Matson. He's coming on the right lap.
He has.
And he is 8th. Hoskins, however, came on
Nikolai Milkovic has just lost some time and a position to Johan Halverson.
Might be what we call a pit stop.
Oh yeah, that could be it. Meanwhile, Enrique Ruiz is right on the back of Carson Danforth. And as if by magic, there they are. And there they go.
Did I miss it?
Yeah, literally, if you blinked, you'd have missed that.
There it is. Ruiz is challenging Davenport. How is he catching him when he's on the mediums and Davenport is on the softs?
Davenport softs will be 6 laps. And that's a Lewis Ellington without a front wing again.
Okay, I think now at this point Ellington's just going to think to himself, right lads, I just want to go home. We go back to the hotel room, have a drink, have a cheeky tug. Maybe not that second one.
Oh, that's a Westwood, that rear wing. So, out of the race then, the Westwood of Timo Kinnaman.
Now
I wonder if there was contact there then.
I think if you can put 2 and 2 together, then you might be able to work out that there has been. I'm not bitter about
No, I'm
the fact
getting
that one of my
5.
brothers would- You need to go back to school, my friend. As we see the number 69 car of Chris Dooley. Let's see what's going on.
This is on board with Chris Dooley. He spun.
Oh,
I can see what's going to happen.
yeah, I think we all can. Here he comes. Oh,
to be fair, he tried to stop.
Yeah.
He very nearly stopped, but just didn't quite manage it.
And that's, well, the races for both of the Westwoods now effectively ruined. Yeah,
Chris Dooley slipped back to 15th. But you can't really place blame on him. On him.
I mean, he made a mistake by spinning, yeah, but
they've all
really
done that.
Kinnaman should have.
Oh, that's a Holmquist parked at the side of the track. That's
only
Aaron
just
Einerson.
there. I think it's probably got a problem, I would say.
Do you know? I wouldn't be surprised.
We make.
I mean, it definitely didn't look like it was going to go anywhere.
No, and it's still not moving, so.
No, and that's why we have the yellow flag in the third sector. But that has gone now, so I'm guessing that has been that Holmquist has been put behind the barriers and is now out of the way.
Yeah, someone just like picked it up and just was like, lol.
Lobbed it.
Yeah, pretty much. He said, oi, catch.
As Davenport is third. He was third anyway.
Did Ruiz or Wagner just get overtaken by a? Looks like a brake failure to me. No, because he used the brakes to start.
I think that was probably an engine.
Alright.
As Wagner is now 12th, so his strategy really hasn't worked.
At all.
Nope, not even close. Judson Sykes, look at that, 17th. Ahead of a Downton and an AMR. Admittedly, the AMR has been into the pits about 7 times.
Yeah, and that Downton has had to pit twice.
Is a Downton.
And
yes, that's true. Thunder had to pit really early on his hard tyres, didn't he?
Yes.
But nonetheless, solid effort so far from Sykes. That was a Franklin going round, I think.
Yeah, as Chris Dooley goes wheel to wheel with Hilario Bull, but he holds on.
And there they are, the two Franklins battling. That's Wagner defending from Ruiz. Ruiz is going to sweep around the outside.
No problems there. But
that's to be lapped. That's lapping him.
Wagner's just losing time in a big way, really.
Yeah, I don't quite get what
He hasn't pitted
what
yet.
he's
That's
playing
why.
at.
Oh, that's a very... Oh, that was nice.
That was Hutchinson on Nowasinki, I believe.
So,
As we have a
very
middle
last
flag, a middle flag in the yellow sector.
oh, Bradley. But yeah, we do have a middle flag in the yellow sector. It's gone now. oh, as Carson Davenport's getting held up.
Davenport trying to lap these two, and they're just getting in his way.
Gotta say that
you can see how much pace the Franklin of Wagner's lost now. Look, even Powers is going to go by him.
Looks that way. There he goes.
That's sad.
Yeah. When that happens, there's just no hope.
No hope.
You may as well just like go home and hang yourself.
Yeah, Marcus Thunder's occupying 17th and 18th.
That's impressive.
While being 1 and 2 laps down respectively.
He's in 2 places at the same time.
Oh, he's now turned into Hilario Bull.
That's fine. Wait, what nationality is Hilario Bull?
Lewis Ellington's in the pits again.
What's he done this time?
It's
can only but
really
dread.
been a disastrous race, hasn't it?
Do you know what? I think that is the perfect word to describe it. Yeah, Davenport's definitely going to be safe, I would say, in 4th. But Ruiz is going to be definitely safe in 3rd. And I think now, really, the top 5 are pretty safe.
As into the pits comes Carson Davenport.
On lap
And
40.
that's a lap early.
That's odd.
But I mean, he's going to have to make a 5-stop anyway, so I don't suppose it really matters.
It doesn't. So every now and then the teams seem to be attempting a no-stop, but it doesn't ever seem to work.
No.
Don't know why people keep trying it, especially somewhere like this. If it was something like you were on the hard tyres and the track temp was about 20 degrees, then the tyres would easily make it to the end, but
you'd have no pace.
Well then you should try it, because you've got no pace to lose. I'm horrible. Can't exactly say the West... Sorry.
I mean, we'd just be even slower. I know people struggle to believe that might be possible, but...
You'd have, like, lap times in the 2-minute variety.
We've been running around at the pace of the FP3 cars.
The FP3 cars?
FV3.
I was going to say.
So what have we got? Have we got any battles out there then? Well, it's 9 seconds between Inman and Simon.
Nope.
Oh, yes, here we go. That's Ellington having just been lapped by James Harding, who is nowhere near anyone, so nope.
But they are battling, so let's just enjoy it. As Ellington piles on the pressure now for James Harding, even though he's a lap down. There's blue flags going off left, right and centre. It's crazy down here.
Bless.
You.
Thanks. I couldn't get to the microphone button in time.
Milkovic is now lapping. Hang on, that can't be right. Because that would mean. Oh no, it can be right. Never mind.
There's a yellow flag in that nope, it's gone.
In that nope, it's gone. The race is reaching rather a dull point.
It is, isn't it? It's 12 laps to go. I'm sure something will happen.
It's true.
Let's be optimistic. Into the pits comes Jochen van Snelheid. That is his 4th stop.
Hang on.
It's the end of...
It's the end of lap 45.
And he's only going to go to 56 because he's 1 lap down. He might be able to eke that out.
I don't think he is a lap down, Bradley.
He is a lap down.
You sure?
I am convinced. I am absolutely
Yeah,
positive.
is.
How much money do you want to put on it?
None.
Because you know you're wrong.
Yeah.
And
Sort
he's
of.
come back out ahead of his teammate James Harding.
Albeit just about.
As Ellington puts one of the firsts off the track. Well,
Oh, there goes
there's
Halverson.
Yeah, and Davenport sets a fastest lap.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, nor does anyone. So how much time has Halverson lost there then?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at the timer screen beforehand.
Fair enough.
I can make my headphones make funny sounds. I shouldn't because it might break them, but
Yeah, I wouldn't. So, where has this pace come from Lopez? I mean, you know, let's not beat around the bush. They were quick at the start of the season, and then come the start of the European season, they suddenly just like absolutely vanished. But both of them are currently up there in the points.
it's true. I honestly can't really figure that out.
Although, having said that, Felix Bayer is attacking
That's
James
Ellington.
Harding.
Felix Bayer is in front of them. Ellington is still messing around with Harding after he's been lapped because he gets in front, then gets a blue flag, so he slows down, lets him back past, and then overtakes him again.
That's why then. Oh, they're not both in the points. Harding is 11th.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. You're bad.
But hey, look, Powers is 12th. Oh, there's a car off in the background there. I saw smoke.
You sure?
Yep. I definitely saw it, and there was a yellow flag, but it looks as though whoever it is has probably just spun and recovered.
Or it's just been instantly like, oh, you went off the track, we're just gonna put you behind the barrier now.
No, I'm fairly convinced that was a spin. It looked like tyre smoke.
You're probably right.
Yeah, just accept it.
Just accept it, it's easier that way.
Exactly.
As we see the lovely sponsors for this V-Prix, Rolex.
Oh, yeah, see, I told you, because there's debris.
Alright, mister.
Yeah. Nah.
Hutchinson's gonna have a good run. That's Bacon. Bacon's
What?
gonna have a good run now on Noah Sinky.
I was going to say, that's not Bacon.
It is Bacon.
It's not, but you said Hutchinson's going to have a good run at Bacon.
Hang on.
Exactly.
I'm confused.
Yeah, so's everyone else now, mate.
It's your fault.
That's true.
Yeah, figure that one out.
So what
Here
have we
comes-
got? Have we got anything
We've
exciting
got a
going
battle.
on?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Cuts him
Oh,
off.
indeed.
that was very risky.
Vicious.
Yeah, that as well. I think Bacon doesn't really seem to care though.
Nope, but he's got the position. Unfortunately, Harry has just had to disappear, so you will have to put up with my dulcet tones for the final 9 laps of this V-Prix, as one of the Downtons, I think that's Marcus Thunder, not doing very well at getting out of the way of race leader Olin Inman. And the DS man all over the back of Thunder's Downton, who will now finally move aside on the straight as a yellow flag pops up ever so briefly in the middle sector but disappears, and that's Thunder and Inman, and there's been contact there between the pair of them, and part of the front right end plate from the front wing of the DS has come off, so contact there between the race leader and one of the back markers. So Thunder was refusing to get out of the way, and well, it's resulted in contact between the pair of them as Inman very squirmy underbraking into the corner. We've already deduced that we don't like, and there's a spin in the background. I think that might well have been one of the Franklins. We've got, well, that's Elroy Wagner coming under pressure now from Johan Halverson, and that's Adrien Simon trying to go between them. That would be a very, very silly idea, and in the end he sweeps around the outside of Wagner, who still struggling on those warm tyres, and Halverson not getting out of the way of Adrien Simon, who's actually coming up to lap the Dane. And oh, Halverson all over the curbs, and that's bounced the car, but through now goes then Adrien Simon. And that is now Judson Sykes looking to overtake Elroy Wagner for position. So that strategy really not working at all then for the world champion. As we watch Enrique Ruiz then sat there comfortably in third place. He's about 18 seconds behind Adrien Simon, but has a comfortable 12 back to Carson Davenport in fourth. As the yellow flag pops up once again, this time in sector 3. But nothing doesn't. Oh no, actually, I say that there's an AMR into the pits without a rear wing, and that's Lewis Ellington, and that just about sums up his weekend, and definitely his race. So Lewis Ellington adds to the list of retirees as Adrien Simon struggles into that double apex left-hander. Yeah, so Lewis Ellington without a rear wing then for some reason, and that is him out of this race. It'll be interesting to see what happened there as we jump on board with Jean Matson hunting down his teammate Nikolai Milkovic, and in fact he's got a brilliant slipstream, and he's going to pull to the inside Jean Matson for the move on his teammate, and through he goes, the Frenchman, and up into, I think that's about 6. So great little move there from Matson, perfectly clean, which is exactly what you want on your teammate. You don't want to risk any chance of contact whatsoever. And Matson now going to try and pull away from Nikolai Milkovic, who doesn't look like the Russian doesn't look like he's able to stick with his teammate there. So obviously Matson locks up, and it was indeed for 6th place. Bloody good guess, wasn't it? As back at the front then, they're all struggling into that left-hander, as that's Olin Inman locking up, while Carl Beckenbauer still looking to hunt down Nikolai Christodoulou for 13th place. They are, I mean, they're as good as nose to tail. Well, as good as you get without being in the slipstream round here. But Beckenbauer just can't find that last little bit in his ocelot to make the move. As Elroy Wagner is now slipped to 17th behind Judson Sykes, as the yellow flags flash up in the middle sector ever so briefly once again. This is the replay of Lewis Ellington then, so he just launched down the inside of one of the Lopez cars, and that turned him round because it was, well, that move, there was a bit of a day late and a dollar short, and there's someone at the side of the track. That's the other AMR, that's Felix Baer. So within the space of just a handful of laps, it's all gone totally wrong for AMR. Lewis Ellington in the wall and out, and Felix Baer parked at the side of the track with a smoking engine, and that's the 2nd race in a row he's retired from a point scoring position. And AMR with both cars then out of this race, and that's an absolute disaster for the team. But on the plus side, at least they can pack up early. Felix Baer, that's got to be heartbreaking for the young Dutchman. Once again, a solid race in the points, but it's just been taken away from him with with just 6 laps to go. As Jean Matson getting in amongst the traffic there, that is the squabble between Hutchinson and Alexei Novosinki, and in fact that's given Matson lapping them has given Hutchinson the chance, and I think he may well have gone through past Alexei Novosinki there, as Carl Beckenbauer still just sat behind Nikolai Christodoulou. Doesn't look as though he's planning on making a move anytime soon. As that's the 2nd DS of Adrien Simon, now also having lapped Marcus Thunder. As we go back to Enrique Ruiz, still sat there in third place, but I mean, absolutely on his own. No problems for the young Brazilian at the moment whatsoever. The gap now between the leaders just 6.7 seconds. So I mean, Simon is closing, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Not by any stretch of the imagination. As we go on board with Inman, but I say that, Inman is spun! Olin Inman, he's going to recover fairly swiftly, but that is going to be a large portion of his 6.8 second lead. Absolutely wiped out, and in fact there is Adrien Simon. He can see him now on the same straight. I wouldn't be surprised if that gap is down to 3.5 seconds now. Olin Inman needs to cut out those errors. He only has 4 laps to go in this V-Prix. And surely he'll want to hold on. He needs to hold on if he's to take points out of his teammates' championship lead. And he doesn't want to be making any more mistakes like that, because that will put Adrien Simon right onto his gearbox. We have a yellow flag in the middle sector, and it's a prolonged yellow flag. It's out for a while now. So I'm guessing we've got some sort of incident in the middle sector. That's Carl Beckenbauer, still right on the back of Christodoulou. And the yellow flag's still out, so I wonder if we're missing anyone from the timing screens. I can't see of anyone at the moment. But Christodoulou and Beckenbauer are now fighting over 12. And looking at it, Carson Davenport is third. So where is Ruiz? Hoskins is fourth. Ruiz is missing. Enrique Ruiz is missing from the timing screens. He's dropped to 7th. No, he's out. Enrique Ruiz is listed as DNF. Ruiz out of 3rd place in the Bahrain V-Prix with just 4 laps to run, as Inman gets very squirrely once again. The Simon gets even worse, practically drifts it into the corner. But Enrique Ruiz, and we're going to have a look now, see what's happened. It's just failed on him. The engine has just failed on him, and that is heartbreaking for the Brazilian. He was looking set for a comfortable podium, and 15 solid points for Franklin, much needed in their battle for 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship. But as it stands, Ruiz is out. Elroy Wagner is down in 17th, and from the looks of things, Franklin are going to score no points whatsoever here in Bahrain, as into the pits comes Inman with just 3 laps left to run in the Bahrain V-Prix. Inman pits, Simon carries on, but surely if Inman's come in and there are still 3 to run, Simon will have to pit as well. We will wait and see. So a quick stop from the DS Mathershaw crew, but Olin Inman is surely going to rejoin in 2nd place, I'd imagine. I mean, they were far enough ahead, and especially now with Ruiz out. Oh, but that's a disaster for Franklin, especially with Fun now up into 3rd and 4th, and Ingram 5th and 6th. Their day here goes from bad to worse. I mean, Wagner's apparent zero-stop strategy is who is that? That's Carson Davenport, I think. It is indeed Carson Davenport from 3rd place then. So, well, it would be, wouldn't it? He's on the soft tyres and they weren't going to go any further. So Davenport's going to be lightning quick then in these last few laps, but I don't think he's going to do anything with it. But he's actually slipped behind Will Hoskins, and that is not going to help him whatsoever. But Davenport is going to have some really fresh tyres, so it'll be interesting to see how close he is to his teammate, and indeed whether Hoskins will need to pit again himself. But I should imagine, to be honest, Davenport will be able to get the job done even if Hoskins doesn't pit, as Adrien Simon is going to cross the line. No, he's not. Simon pits as well then. So with 2 laps left to run in the Bahrain V-Prix, Simon pits from the lead, which will hand, surely, as long as nothing goes wrong in the final 2 laps, will hand the victory back to his teammate Olin Inman. Inman is going to cross the line any minute now to start the penultimate lap of the race. Simon is leaving the pit lane, but Inman is long past the pit exit. Through back into the lead. Simon is going to come out well in 2nd place, and this is the battle for 3rd between the 2 fun cars. Carson Davenport all over the gearbox of Will Hoskins. And he's gonna have a run at some point. Surely they've got 2 and a little bit laps left, these guys, and they're coming up to lap Nathaniel Powers, who gets onto the curb and well out of the way. Great back marking there from Powers, and indeed into the pits does come Will Hoskins. So Davenport won't have to fight his way through, as Nathaniel Powers pits from 10th. And Beckenbauer is past Christodoulou, and there's a smoking honk fest. That's got to be Kiara Thunder. Aaron Einarsson already out of this race. So I don't think Kiara Thunder is going to last much longer either. Powers pits from 10th, then he'll be lucky not to be passed by Beckenbauer. Out of the pits he comes. No, Beckenbauer's still nowhere near, so he might just hold on to that 10th place, Mike Powers. But yeah, Hoskins pits, and he's come out behind John Matson. Hoskins out in 5th place. So Fun have lost a couple of points there. It's given Davenport back the podium, but it's also allowed John Matson through into 4th. And there you see Nikolai Christodoulou now behind Carl Beckenbauer. Beckenbauer up to 11th, then Ocelot are going to be oh so close to a point. They've got 1 lap left in which to... Carl Beckenbauer's got 1 lap in which to try and attempt to catch and pass Powers, but Powers is going to be on the fresh tyres. Jochen van Snelheid also pitting from 8th place. Halverson in as well. So all of these guys in on the penultimate lap. Although, well, they've been lapped, haven't they? So they're going to have to do even 1 less lap. So this will probably be their last lap of the race. Jochen van Snelheid has rejoined in 8th place. Harding into the pits as well, as Carson Davenport nails the fastest lap on those fresh soft tyres. Harding with, well, that's going to be a comfortable 9th. He was well ahead of Powers, and then Powers pitted. So Harding will pick up 2 points as long as he can make the flag. But Olan Inman has been absolutely incredible today. He's controlled the race from the front, but we're looking for some reason at the battle between the 2 firsts for 17th place. And in fact, Arden Hutchinson going to dive to the inside of his teammate. And I think that's down the start-finish straight. No, in fact, Hutchinson pitted. But yeah, this is the man. Olan Inman has controlled this race from the front and from the start. He got past his teammate, dived down the inside at turn 1, and he hasn't looked back since. Olan Inman, he needed this to take points out of Simon's championship lead. Inman wins in Bahrain. Adrien Simon is going to cross the line behind him to finish 2nd in a DS Mathershaw 1-2. It's going to be Carson Davenport in 3rd, but we're going to have to wait a while because DS Mathershaw have been in an absolute class of their own today. Much as they have been all weekend, apart from Simon's scruffy practice session, that they were flying in qualifying and Simon pulled out that incredible lap, but Inman has reversed the result here in the race and he's pulled points out of his teammate. Carson Davenport crosses the line to take another podium for Fun. It's 3rd place for the Portuguese driver, and we just now wait for John Matson to cross the line and take 4th. Johan Halverson has finished 7th, Van Snelheid 8th, Harding 9th, and any minute now Powers will cross the line to take the final point. We're also still waiting for John Matson to complete in 4th, Hoskins in 5th, Milkovic in 6th place on a one-stop strategy on the hard tyres, but he started 3rd. Probably won't be impressed by that, but this man will be pretty pleased. Olan Inman, his 3rd career victory, and it's come here in Bahrain, and it's come when he absolutely most needed it. Adrien Simon with quite a big championship lead at the moment, but those 7 points that Inman has gained here in Bahrain today will go, well, at least they won't go a long way, but they'll go at least some way to cutting down that gap. Olan Inman, the winner of the 2016 Bahrain V-Prix. So it's a 3rd career victory for Olan Inman as he closes slightly in the points on teammate Adrien Simon. Carson Davenport picks up another podium for Fun, while both Fun and Ingram are double point scorers. Lopez also get both cars in the points, and Nathaniel Powers takes the last point for 10th ahead of Carl Beckenbauer and Nikolai Christodoulou with his best finish, while both Franklins fail to score. That's important in the Constructors' Championship. In the drivers though, Carson Davenport is up to 5th past Enrique Ruiz, but at the top, Adrien Simon's lead now just 26 points over on Lim, and Halverson is nearly 2 wins back now in 3rd place. Nikolai Christodoulou with his best finish of the season jumps up to 22nd. He's now the highest of the drivers not to score points. Nathaniel Powers, another one there, just helping building the total. And then Hilario Bull with his best finish as well moves up a place. In the Constructors' Championship though, DS now lead by 100 points, but the big story, Franklin 221 behind, there's 215 left. For the first time in Formula Virtual Series, they will not be the champions. But that's all from our race here today in Sakhir. So from both me and Harry, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 14 from Montreal, Canada.